Did you know that there are 10 different types of narcissist? And in today's episode, I'm going to be talking to you about a specific type of narcissist that when I share with you what they are about, I guarantee it, you will know one. And that is the communal narcissist. Hi, everybody. A massive welcome to my podcast, Trauma and Narcissism Redefined, your weekly dose of inspiration, education, hope that there is life after trauma, after narcissism, because it does not have to be a life sentence. So what are we talking about in today's episode? Well, fascinating subject. Communal narcissism. It's not something we talk about much. You know, we tend to think of narcissists really as the ones who walk in the room, command attention. And you know, I talk a lot about the most dangerous kind, the ones that are the stealthy ones that we kind of don't really notice, like the covert or the vulnerable narcissist. And I've done plenty of other podcasts on those. But in today's episode, I want to talk to you about one that we don't really talk about that much, and that's the communal narcissist. Now, the communal narcissists are really the ones that are out there. They could be a religious leader. It could be the head of a charity. It could even be people that we might see online that look like they're real do-gooders. And it looks like they are doing wonderful, wonderful things in the world. But are they doing them for the right reasons? And this is what gets really interesting about communal narcissism. So some of the signs of communal narcissism, maybe it can manifest as an extreme dedication really to a specific cause, charity, often causes them to neglect other important elements of their life and often overstep boundaries. They can come across sometimes like martyrs, maybe even mocking or degrading those who don't share their intense dedication or interest, such as maybe lashing out at meat eaters if they're not vegan, or criticizing wealthy individuals who do not donate extensively, for instance. And some of these signs can include things like really extreme dedication to a specific charity or cause. And this really starts to deviate away maybe from what they're doing. It's like almost like an obsession, really. You know, communal narcissists will often talk about having a mission or a calling, and they consider serving their community to be of the utmost importance. And they may deem any other interest as petty or selfish. Now, communal narcissists often stir up excess drama as well, or conflict at charitable, work-related events, rather than actually focusing on achieving the communal goal. And they're maybe more focused on the hierarchies or the politics, you know, the ones that are always causing drama and conflict. They can come across as a martyr. They might mock or degrade people who don't share their same interests. You know, perhaps if they're vegan, they might lash out at people who eat meat, for instance. They might hate wealthy people. You know, they're bad people because they need to donate their wealth. And they believe they are the best at something. They might have no evidence of this to substantiate their claim, and others might vehemently disagree with that. They only seem to show concern for societal needs, keep up in public. In private, they don't exhibit the same motivations. For example, they might donate lavish amounts of money at an important event, and they'll let everybody know about it. But they wouldn't even consider becoming an anonymous donor. Everybody needs to know. Or they might post about needing to save the planet on social media without actually making a personal effort to do so. So here are some examples maybe of communal narcissism, and let's just see if you can relate to them. So remember, it can often come in various forms under the guise maybe of altruism, helpfulness, and individuals with communal narcissism exhibit behaviors that can often seem really supportive and community-oriented, but they are ultimately self-serving. So it's important to recognize these patterns as they can significantly impact interpersonal dynamics in different settings. So what are some of the examples then? How are we going to see this in our everyday life? And again, see if you can relate to this. So communal narcissism at work. So in the workplace, a communal narcissist might try and do your tasks for you because they assume they're being helpful. They may believe that the company would simply deteriorate without them. It's as if they are the single force keeping the business together, even if they don't own the business. Moreover, they'll often look down on colleagues. Maybe they'll start to slate them on the quiet to other people, causing conflict and drama. Maybe they'll slate colleagues who take time off work or seem uninterested in their job. And then we also have these communal narcissists who volunteer for a cause. So as volunteers, communal narcissists might try to overstep their boundaries and take on responsibilities, even without having the adequate training. They can stir up drama during charity events, and they want that hyper-focused on themselves and their mission and their altruistic nation than the actual mission itself. They'll often pay attention to how much time or money other people spend devoted to the cause and judge them accordingly. You might see them at sports games. So maybe when you're playing sport, they're trying to teach others how to improve their skills instead of just focusing on developing their own. They present as overly eager to help, presumably for the sake of the team, while not responding well to direction or advice themselves. Can you see so far how hard this is to spot? Because it looks like they're doing really, really good things, but they're not doing it for the right reasons. They're doing it for self-serving reasons. Also in support groups. Now, you may know them in those support groups. Maybe you're in a trauma or narcissism one. I have one of these, and I can always spot the communal narcissist. They're dishing out unsolicited advice to everyone in the group with the idea that they're being helpful and getting praise. But there's a darker side to that. So some of the things that people with communal narcissism might say, because they might have these grandiose statements that really highlight their perceived selflessness and moral superiority. And these declarations can appear benevolent on the surface. This is what makes it so difficult. But they're often masking a deeper need for validation and admiration. They're doing something to receive something back. So some of the phrases that you might hear might be, I'm just the most helpful person I know. I'm going to bring peace and justice to the world. I'm the best friend someone can have, and I'm so good. I just think I'm the best friend ever. I will be well known for the good deeds I have done. I am, or I'm going to be, the best parent on this planet. I'm the most caring person in my surroundings. In future, I'll be well known for solving the world's problems. I greatly enrich other people's lives and bring freedom to others. I'm an amazing listener. I'll be able to solve world poverty. I'm generally the most understanding person, and I'll make the world a much more beautiful place. I'm extraordinarily trustworthy, and I'll be famous for increasing people's well-being. So you can see how difficult this is, because on the surface, it's like, wow, they're so nice. But they're not doing it coming from a place of not wanting to receive anything back. What they're doing it for is because they need that validation. They need praise back because they have a deep-rooted insecurity as a communal narcissist. So how can we deal with these people? And how, it's so difficult to notice them. But when we do, and when you understand this, you will see them. I know quite a few of these. So dealing with a narcissist can be frustrating. So it's really important to educate yourself. And if any of you ever want to know about my accredited narcissistic abuse specialist program, drop me an email at hello@carolinestrawson.com. So when we have this awareness, it can really help you feel more informed in how you can interact maybe with a communal narcissist, because sometimes we can't avoid communicating with them, being in an environment with them. So really don't try to confront their behavior. I know it can feel tempting, especially when you start to notice this. And while it is tempting to challenge someone's hypocrisy, this almost always backfires with a narcissist, because they will get defensive and angry, even if the feedback is given in a constructive way. So really, it's better to avoid saying anything at all. And they may engage in these gaslighting techniques to compensate for their narcissistic rage. And you may end up feeling really, really hard done by, and it might cause you to get really activated. They might continue lying and insisting their truth is objective, bringing in flying monkeys. They might try to convince you that you're mistaken, you're the problem. But really stay true to your own values. So try to avoid letting people tell you how you should feel or think. You can care about your community without feeling pressurized to do so. Someone with communal narcissism may belittle or shame you for not doing enough or not feeling passionate enough, like it's some kind of competition. Remember, you're your own person and you have every right to pursue the values and needs that are significant to you. So really limit these triggering interactions with a narcissist, know when to fight the battles and know when to step back. At a minimum, it might be helpful to reduce maybe the amount of time you spend together, limit the potential for you becoming their narcissistic supply. So for instance, if you know you're going to attend events, let's say there are, in the local religious community where their behavior might upset you, set limits for yourself. Agree to commit to a specific obligation or consider viable alternatives. And boundaries are absolutely key. Any type of narcissism, boundaries are key. So set and know what your parameters are for your boundaries within that relationship. And remember, you don't have to accept disrespectful language or criticism from others. And having boundaries doesn't mean you have to be rude either. You can be polite, but assertive and firm. So maybe consider some of the following examples. I'm not talking about this matter any further. Full stop. That is not something I'm willing to do. You don't need to justify. If you ask me again, I will need you to leave my home. This matter is not up for discussion. So be really firm, but you can still be polite. And then really just practice ongoing self-care. When you have a narcissist, any narcissist in your life, that is going to be really important because it's really easy to become overwhelmed and angry and reactive. But it's really essential to focus on how you can preserve your own well-being regardless of somebody else's actions. Now, that self-care could consist of more mindfulness, nervous system regulation, finding out a good ecosystem of support around you that can be there, and really honor your physical and emotional well-being. Sleep, make sure you eat healthily, nutritious food, staying physically active, maybe just going for a walk. I get it. Sometimes if we're stuck in freeze, even going outside for a walk can seem a lot. So even if it's a 5-minute walk or just moving around your house, make sure that you try and stay mobile to some point just to mobilize that little bit of energy. So communal narcissists are really interesting because on the surface, again, it's like the old vulnerable and covert. It looks like maybe they're the victims or they're being the nice person. But remember, what we're talking about here is a narcissist, a person who is doing these good deeds, charitable things, needing to get something back. They need praise. They need people to notice. They need to post about it. They need to share about it. They need to make sure that everybody knows how wonderful they are so that they get that praise back, which feeds their narcissistic supply. Think about it. Who's in your community right now? Who do you know? I see this in my free group sometimes, and on the surface, it looks like, how wonderful are they? And I can see that. And initially, I'm thinking, great, they are a great community member there because they're really helpful. And then I see them popping up, and I'm realizing they're not doing this from an altruistic nature of wanting to help. They're doing it so they get something back. That's when it starts to get dangerous. That's when it starts to step into narcissism. I'm doing something with the expectation I need something back. And when that doesn't happen, then abuse can start to escalate. They'll make the person bad. They will make you the bad person. So let me know, drop me a message, come and follow me on Instagram, make sure you come and join my free group. Maybe you can spot them in there too. We always remove them if we do notice that too. But really let me know, do you know any communal narcissists in your life? Maybe you go to a religious establishment. Maybe you are in a free group on Facebook. Maybe you see this online. Maybe it's a family member. Maybe it's your partner, your parent. I've worked with many clients who have a parent who's a narcissist and they're always doing good. And they get sick of everyone saying, oh, your mother, your father, they're so wonderful. But they're driven by the need to have to do that to get their narcissistic supply back, really at all costs, including relationships. So let me know. I hope you found this podcast really interesting, talking about communal narcissism. I certainly find all the different types very, very interesting. Narcissism isn't just black and white. It's nuanced, it's complex. And when we start to understand, we can really start to heal and thrive after narcissistic abuse. It's not your fault, but it is your responsibility to start to heal. And lots of information are in the show notes about how you can come and follow me, how you can come and join my community. Don't be alone in any of this because it can be an extremely lonely place. So take care, my friends. I hope this has been a good one for you, and I'll see you on the next episode.